an ancient Greek cult said to house the answers to life, death, and immortality, has kept its secret hidden for almost 2,000 years. Members of the cult range from the greatest philosophers, artists, and politicians of the time. Initiated members include Socrates, Plato, Sophocles, Cicero, and Marcus Aurelius. Any great Western thinker between the years 1600 BC to 392 CE would have made the pilgrimage to the sacred temple just a few miles outside of Athens. This temple is known as Eleusis. In this video, we're going to be exploring the mysteries of Eleusis to uncover the sacred knowledge sought after by the founders of Western civilization. If you die before you die, then you will not die when you die. This is perhaps the single most important quote in describing what was revealed at Eleusis. The ceremony, now known as the Eleusinian Mysteries, was held every year at the temple. Initiates would undergo massive preparation before indulging into the mysteries. For this reason, the ceremony was split into two parts. The lesser mysteries, offered in the spring, would begin the purification process. Those who complete the lesser mysteries then begin their preparation for the greater mysteries in the fall. Preparation includes extensive fasting and meditation. Once preparations are complete, initiates are considered purified and ready to embark on their journey into the greater mysteries. Little is known about what happens during the greater mysteries, but what we do know is quite interesting. The greater mysteries begins, again, with a fast. The initiates are then served a drink called the Cookian, which translates to mixture. This mixture is made up of water, barley, and mint. Although this seems like a simple drink, the barley is said to have special properties which would facilitate the rest of the experience. After drinking the Cookian, the initiates would descend into the Telestereon, which is translated to underground theater. It is here where the secret ritual took place. From this point on, nothing about what happens is known for sure. It is speculated that inside the Telestereon, a play is put on for the initiates. The plot of the play follows the myth of Demeter and Persephone. The myth explains the seasonal nature of the world. Persephone is fated to spend half the year in the underworld with Hades, and the other half of the year on Earth with her mother, Demeter. The physical portrayal of this myth is shown in the seasons, as Persephone's movements between Earth and the underworld correspond to the plentiful nature of summer and the dead nature of winter. At a deeper level, this myth symbolizes more than the seasons. It represents the cyclical nature of the world, and that life and death are in a constant dance that naturally follow one another with time. Professor Joshua J. Mark explains their concept of time as, time was considered cyclical, not linear, and one could recognize the pattern of the universe through the changing seasons and understand that just as trees, grass, and flowers died in one season and returned to life in another, so too would human beings. From this understanding of life and death comes perhaps the most famous quote from Eleusis: "If you die before you die, then you will not die when you die." In order to understand the meaning of this paradoxical quote, we examine a story found at the end of Plato's Republic. It is about a man named who dies in battle, only to be woken up 12 days later. Tells the story of what he saw in the afterlife. He explains that the souls of all living creatures come from a collective source. From this source we are born into this world, and we will all eventually return to this source when we die. Plato's description of experience shows his understanding of the cyclical nature of life. Plato understands that death is merely a part of the cycle one must go through before continuing on one's journey and being born again. The meaning of dying before you die represents the realization that one's concept of self is merely a character that their soul is performing for this iteration of life. Upon having this realization, one understands that their soul will live on after their physical self dies, thus granting them the understanding of immortality. It is speculated that the Cookian, a drink served to initiates at the beginning of the Greater Mysteries, contains a powerful psychedelic. Ergot, the fungus from which LSD is derived, has been confirmed to grow on the barley outside the fields of Eleusis. The implication of psychedelics having such a profound impact on the founders of Western culture is difficult to accept due to the strong taboo against them in our modern world. This topic warrants a video of its own. Let me know if you'd like to see more about the Mysteries of Eleusis. Do you think Plato and others are describing a psychedelic experience? Inspiration for this video came to me after reading The Immortality Key by Brian Muraresku. I highly recommend you check it out if you are interested in learning more about Eleusis. Thanks for watching, everyone, and if you enjoyed, leave a like or a comment below. Also, feel free to subscribe for more deep dives into fun, mysterious topics like this. And as always, stay curious.